Well, unless you're in certain occupations like law enforcement, you probably don't walk into work thinking you might just be attacked for doing your job. It is no different for us.
It isn't, but that's what happened to investigative reporter David Hammer and photojournalist TJ Pipitone. They were tracking down a convicted child molester in Tangipahoa Parish who had mistakenly been released from prison early when a family member came at them. This happened last year, and we didn't say much about it at the time, but David and TJ really wanted the attention on the story they were covering and not them. But they did go through the legal process, and today their attacker was sentenced. With recent attacks on journalists in America, including Orlando about 2 weeks ago, it seemed important to share their story today. Here's Erica Ferrando.
In March 2022, Eyewitness investigative reporter David Hammer and photojournalist TJ Pipitone went to Tangipahoa Parish, hoping to speak with serial child molester Brian Mathern after he was mistakenly released early from a 30-year sentence after only serving 22 years.
7.5 years early.
When they arrived to the address listed on his sex offender registry, the journalists parked on the side of the highway but were confronted by the owner of neighboring property. That person, Bruce Verdon, turned out to be Mathern's brother-in-law.
We just want to give him a chance. Hey, I'm David Hammer from Channel 4.
Hammer says Verdon swung a wrench at them and tried to hit Pipitone with his truck.
I never would have expected that going to notify the community that a child molester was out free too early would get us attacked.
Verdon was arrested on 3 counts of felony aggravated battery and a count of aggravated destruction of property. Represented by attorney Garrison Jordan, Verdon pleaded no contest to the charges Monday.
Which is not an admission of guilt. It just means I'm not going to fight the charges anymore in exchange for a probated sentence.
And Hammer and Pipitone shared victim impact statements.
We need to hold people accountable for these open attacks on journalists. We had a journalist murdered and another one shot just recently in Orlando just for doing their job.
Verdon was shaking his head during victim impact statements, then laughed when Hammer said they are lucky to have not been seriously hurt. Pipitone said to Verdon, "I'm glad you find it funny," to which Verdon replied, "I don't find it funny, I just disagree."
There's a dispute or disagreement as to what actually happened.
For the aggravated battery charges, Verdon was sentenced to 3-year suspended sentence with 2 years probation, and for the property damage charge, 2 years suspended sentence, 2 years probation.
And those were run concurrently, which means at the same time.
That means Verdon won't face jail time, but will be on probation 3 years unless he violates terms, including no contact with the victims or posts about the incident on social media. He's also now a convicted felon.
Attacking somebody with a moving vehicle at a pretty high rate of speed and with a metal wrench, that can cause serious damage, and we were just very lucky that we didn't have more serious injuries.
Verdon was ordered to pay $1,100 to WWL-TV in restitution for damages to a microphone and Hammer's cell phone.
Hey, he's
Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
And as for convicted sex offender Brian Mathern, as Hammer was investigating his early release, he was arrested again and returned to prison.